And that fellow you hear there, that's Dan. He's here for our special announcement. I kind of been teasing it on Twitter and Facebook a little bit. There's a new Schmoedown show coming up here.
There is?
Yes, you're on it too, you fool. What you're looking at right now is going to be the
the memo
show.
It's coming in now.
What you're looking at now, guys, is going to be the crew for the show. I'll go ahead and throw up a graphic here that will give, and I'll run through the details here. The name of the show is Speaking of Schmoedown. It's a sports talk style show because I love listening to sports talk radio on the AM radio. It'll have myself, Dean, and Dan. It will be live on Saturdays at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll go through the news. If there's any big news dropping through the week, which there's going to be a lot of stuff from Spectacular until the start of the season, the draft. We'll have some guests on stopping in. Who they'll be, who knows? We'll find out. I know a couple of them. Matches, obviously we'll go over the matches. Dean is here for the stats breakdown. He's the stats man because I don't understand any of that kind of stuff. I wish I could.
Man, right? Not me.
Yeah, that's not you, Dean. But it's going to be.
Man, that's why I'm not here on this show.
I'm just stoked that I'll be able to go. Dean, can you give me the numbers on that so I'm not feeling stupid because I don't know what I'm talking about? And who knows, maybe with the stats, I'm a stats kind of person. Maybe you can change my mind on some opinions. But the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to on this show is we're going to be able to take on-air phone calls from the listeners. So if that's the radio show aspect of it for me, is I always loved kicking it to the phone lines to take some calls. And also, as you can see on the graphic, last but certainly not least, Schmoes of the North presents Frenchie's Corner, and that will be a segment featuring the one and only Frenchie, Louis Monet. So that is going to be great. Really looking forward to that as well. And this will not be on the Merc with the Movie blog channel, although I want to thank Josh the Merc Rayner, the owner of this, so very much for allowing me to make this announcement on his network. That is really cool, really gracious of you. I appreciate it. This show will be on my personal YouTube channel, and I'm about to set up the podcast feeds, which is the Jcast Network. So that's where it'll be again, December 12th. And we let's see, our start time for that day will actually be a little bit early. It'll only be an hour long, because I want to make sure that I'm not going up too hard against the Schmoedown Rundown. There's no way, dude. Those guys are too good. So good. Yes. And then, but with the Spectacular starting early, with the Spectacular starting early, we'll only have about an hour on our premiere episode. But I'm lining up some stuff. I'm trying to at least. But yeah, so that'll be awesome. So that start time will be, let's see. Schmoedown, it'll be 11. I'm trying to do the conversion of the time. So it'll be 11 a.m. Pacific time. Yes, 11 a.m. Pacific time. 12, 1, 2. Then I got to add the 3 for me. 2 o'clock Eastern time. I hate the whole time. Can't we just have one time zone for the whole world? Let's try it at least. But
Monday.
Yeah, Dan, folks here are familiar with me. Dan, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and how you became introduced to the Schmoes, and whatnot?
Okay, well, I actually started working with the Schmoedown in 2018 when I was working with Montreal VSD, and was been there for a whole year. Got to actually meet Christian, Mark Ellis, Jay Washington, RB3, basically anyone who went to Chicago during Star Wars Celebration, I was there. I was actually in the front row at the live event. You actually could see me wearing the red shirt saying Wild Bears because I love Jackson. Hell yeah. So I was working there, and I decided to after Trivia SD got shut down, I decided to take a break from writing and work on other stuff that I was working on. And now I came back this year with 2020, being here at home for about 3 months. I decided, you know what? I always wanted to have a spreadsheet of my own with all the different stats and everything. I hate to ask Frank and bother him with all the different things. I wish I could just go to it myself. And I just said, let's just knock this out. And 3 months in, I pretty much had maybe like all but 2 seasons. And I just started adding little bits in here, like, okay, what would it be if I forecast this? What happens if I did this? And I learned a little bit of that high school didn't teach me. So I basically started a blog where it just forecasted all the different points for the points race this season, and I feel like I've been pretty accurate on where they stand on the rankings and basically projecting on where everyone's going to be. And since I kind of know what happened with the Patreon this week, I kind of know where. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but
I covered over my headphone. That's how my mind just went. My mind just went. I'm like, why can I still hear?
I won't spoil anything. All I say is I kind of may figure out where everything's gonna fall in, but I'm not gonna say anything other than that. And that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
All right.
Dude, that's
I'm not
awesome.
gonna look at your face when I say this, but let's go final exam. Now moving on.
I'm a patron, but I haven't watched it. That's great. I'm a patron, but I haven't watched it yet. That's definitely on my watch list. In the next.
That's why I said, you know what? I'm not gonna. I may mention something, but I won't spoil anything. I will say this: it's a great match. I know, Dean. I talked to you like earlier in the week about one of the matches being contender for match of the year. This match is definitely contender of the year. I will say that this match really was tough going from beginning to end. So I will say that it was a good match. This is definitely contender for match of the year.
Oh, it's been a lot, man. Shout out to Ben Rayner. Yes, it is very sad about the wild berries. They have been officially wild buried, and I'm pretty happy with that pun, but not as happy with the situation. Moving on.
Yeah, I was kind of sad. I mean, I had posted a picture of me holding my wild berry shirt the moment that JcN was announced it. He picked up.
Throw it in the trash can, set it on fire.
Well, I still have it. I paid money for that. I'm not throwing that out. It's gonna be a relic 1,000 years from now. So, but I did say that he could still be part of it. He could still be the intro guy who announces everything, but or do a Tom Dagnino Finstock thing where he just goes by a different name. I'm not saying anything, but he could still show up. So he's not done out of the Schmoedown for good. But as far as competing, maybe we'll see. Maybe there'll be enough of demand that we get that overturned somehow.
Hell yeah!
Bring back the fantasy segment.
Yep. We're gonna cut you loose here, Dan, and get on with our Afterlife show for SEN Live. But one more time before we drop you out, let me put this graphic back up again. Again, the title of the show, speaking of Schmoedown, with Jay, Dean, and Dan, a segment by Louis Monet from Schmoes of the North called Frenchie's Corner. And it will be the regular time, although the premiere episode, I'll be more clear with that start time. I should have wrote that down. I admit, that's my bad. Dean's shaking his head. You can't see him, but I can. And he's shaking his head like, yeah, nodding. You should have. But the regular time will be live on Saturdays on the YouTube, on the Jcast Network at 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. I think I just hit puberty there. And on that note, Dan, thanks for coming on for our announcement here. Really appreciate your time, and can't wait to jump into this new show, especially because now I don't have to wonder, like when I make comments and stuff, I don't have to wonder in my head, like, am I making a fool of myself because my opinion is way off base because I don't know what I'm talking about? I can just give my stupid opinion, kick it to you, and then you can confirm that, yes, I am indeed stupid. But that's why they're called.
Maybe, hey, I've made bad calls too. And you know what? I've had the Founding Fathers taking this whole tournament. Well, that was out the door in the second match. So, I make mistakes. We're all human. We all have our different opinions. But hey, you know what? And numbers can be misleading, but you know what? We can still root for whatever we want to root for. That's the end of the.
Very true.
But
that's the great thing about games and competition, So.
Let me be part of the show, and
yeah, man, looking forward to it.
Let you have the after show. All right.
Yep. Hey, we'll talk to you soon, Dan. Thank you very much.
No problem.
And once again, guys, that is Dan there. He will be joining Dean and myself for a new Schmoedown show called Speaking of Schmoedown that will be starting here December 12th.